This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so I hope you are still able to see my screen, right? Anyone can respond me.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
Prashant.
So let's begin then. So any doubt from the previous class, though it was very basic and introductory? Any doubt from there? No.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, okay. So let's begin further then. So yesterday we tried
And
creating one
Hello.
we created one application, and yes, yeah.
one more thing, can you simply explain why the RESTful services are required generally? What is the purpose?
RESTful services are the a type of web services which I mean, what is a web service? Web service is kind of platform independent, what you call APIs, which you can interact with from any other platform. Like suppose if one web service is there, and you want to use it in Apex application. In that case, you can make use of that. So sometimes what happens, the API that you want to use is on some other platform. You cannot directly call it from, or you writing on PL SQL code. So in that case, it is published as a web service, and that web service you can call it. So to give an example, suppose
Yes.
daily the dollar and rupee rate fluctuates, right? So to get to know like what is the current dollar rate in rupee term, there would be a web service that
Okay.
you will call, and they will
Oh,
you will
yeah, yeah,
send
I
on.
got it.
Hmm? So there
Like a
are
payment
two.
gateway.
Yeah, payment gateway. So it would be of two kinds. One is the soap-based web services. One is the RESTful web services. So both are slightly different in the way we call it
Okay.
and the way they are designed. So we'll see going forward. We'll see how we can incorporate them into our Apex application.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So, coming
Okay.
to the
Okay. Thank you.
previous yesterday's class, we created one blank page and we added a report into that employee report, and we added a filter. So for now, I have deleted this report, this page, because we are going to cover this from the beginning. So just I wanted to show you how the page looks like in the edit mode and what all components are there. So let me summarize you once more so that today it is refreshed that idea. So we have this page component can be divided into four main segments. One is the page rendering, second is the dynamic action, third is the page processing, and the fourth is page. This is the shared component. So page rendering is responsible for the look and feel of your page, how it will look like, and what all elements will be there. So those things you can define. So sometimes what happens, uh, you're not able to. Sometimes what happens. So this is in case of a form. So what you would generally expect a form to do, like you will create a new record and you will also update one existing record. So in that kind of form in which you have to update one existing record, you need to populate all the fields in that particular form with the data. So in that case, there must be a process written which will pull the data from the table and populate all the fields present in the page. So that process will be coming here. There is a section like pre-rendering. If you can see this, this section will have all those processes which are required to populate the data before the page loads. This process is different. This process will be executed only when you click on a button or submit the page. So this process will be needed to populate the data into the page when before it loads or at the time it loads. Okay, so that is one thing. So like this pre-rendering, post-rendering also you have something. So after that also, if you want to execute some process, you can do that. and all your components like text field and everything will come in the inside region. So one thing here you would it's worth mentioning, like any item or any report that you want to create an Apex page must be inside a region. Suppose you want to create a text field, and but before that you need to have a placeholder kind of thing in which that text field will be placed, or can that text field can be associated. So the first requirement is to create uh, mm, one this thing placeholder empty region, so that you can put your all individual items into that. So that is one thing. So today what we are going to do, so today what we'll do, we'll create a simple report like we did yesterday, and in that example only we will see how to create a filter region like we created yesterday, and how to have different items into that as a filters, and then we'll create a report another region into that. So reports are itself, I mean, they are themselves are they are regions. So if you are creating a report, then you need not create a region separately and put that report region into that, like we need to, we are supposed to do with items. No, we need to create a region first and then put the item inside that. That is there is no such requirement with in case of reports, because reports are themselves uh, regions. So what we'll do, we'll create a page first. So we'll create a page first, and in that page we'll try to uh, I mean, let's take a sample project for today's class, in which we will create a report, and we'll create a filter region, and there would be a search button, and then we will try to see the data which is related to that. Okay, so it will be kind of more hands-on kind of thing. So I'll create a page. I'll create a blank page because anyway we are going to add everything into that. So page number 10. I'll take the same employee table because all those tables, all those columns I am familiar with. So, and then we breadcrumbs, let's use a breadcrumb, and let's put it inside home employee. That's fine. I will create a navigation menu inside home for this, and we are good to go. It will create a page number 10 inside this application, and it will have name as employee report. So it is taking time. Some processes are running in the backend. So I hope you guys were able to create your own accounts into somewhere. I mean, either in Oracle Apex.com, I mean, website, or in your local. So that, I mean, the more hands-on we do, the more, I mean, the better understanding we'll have on this tool. So this page is created now. So, I mean, if you have Oracle install Apex installed in your local, it will take much lesser time, only because this is Oracle website. There is so much of traffic, and due to that, it is taking this much of time. So I have created a new page, which is blank right now. So let me see what all columns are there in this. So I will simply go to the SQL workshop, and I will simply query the table employee. So it has got these many columns. So uh, can you tell me on what fields we should be having the filters? Employee number, I mean, a user is not supposed to enter the employee number. Sometimes he may enter that too. Okay, let's create a filter for this one also. The employee number in name, job, manager. So these 5 6 fields we have. Let me copy it somewhere. So I have just copied it into my notepad. I believe you are not able to see it. So first of all, I will be creating a filter. I will go back. This is a page rendering part, and in this, I will in content body. In content body, we are supposed to create a region. I will name it as filters, and I will leave it like this. This is a static content, nothing else. And once the filter region is created, I will go do right click and create page item. So once you click on create page item, by default it will add p underscore p10. So p10 is page 10. So if you are suppose you are in page number 20, it will suffix it with p20, and then you can change the name. So you can change this, this entire name itself, but it is a convention like to use to start the page variable or page item name with uh, p and then the page number. So employee number I'm using. So employee number, and then it is a text field, and employee, let me change the level of it. So I have changed this much, and I will change the template optional and then save. So I have created just one item into that page. So if I refresh it, I will be able to see that item. So similarly, we'll create few more items. So right click, create page item. So I will employee name. So employee name, I will use the same template. You can try choosing other ones also and see how it is different. So it is created. I will create a more one more item. So job. Okay. So I have added three items here. In this one, you can see how they are being populated. They are coming into different lines. So this is kind of a blueprint or some frame how your page will look like. If you refresh the page, it will be coming like this. So suppose you want to put them into the single line, what you can do, you can click on the second item, and there is a property, a start new row. You can select that no. Similarly, a job, if you want to move the job in the same line, you can select this as no as well, and you save it. So now you can see here also in the blueprint or the layout, all three items are coming in the single row. So if you go and refresh this page, you will see these things have come in the single row now. So now one row is completed. So let me add a couple of more filters. So I will go and create page items. This one I will name it as manager. Okay, and then start new row. Let me select is start new row, salary, commission, department is very important. So in the second row, I will have uh, let me automatic column span 4. Okay, and this one is, I'm doing some changes just to make them look in parallelly, in the same vertical lines as other fields. So I will optional, this one is also I will keep at optional, and then this one is slightly elongated, right, this one. So I will shorten the length of it. Column span I will give as 4. So you can see like these two fields have come in the same line. So now if I refresh this page, all the fields are coming like this. Hmm? So you can always select the column and column span like I did here in this section to to change the position slightly leftwards or rightwards. So now let me go back and do some more modification. So right now I think that this employee names would be a text field. Employee number, I guess it should be a text field only. Manager, I can, department for sure it would be a select list. So how to make it a select list? So for that we need to understand to create a select list, what all things do we need? So for that we need a display value and a return value. If you simply go to any website where this and open a page in which a select list is used or drop down is used, if you just inspect that element, you will see it has got two components. One is the display value and one is the return value. So display value is the value which is being shown on the page, and return value is the value which is being passed, which is being used in the backend in the table. So suppose one status column is there in which status 10 refers to the status in progress. So you will in the drop down you will see in progress only, but in the backend it will be 10. And that I mean a page will be page itself will link these two things, because that is how that select list is defined there. So to create a select list we must define this display value and return value pair. So there can be n number of values into that. So for the time being, this department, if I query the department, so I have how many department dept, right? So I have got four departments. So what, this is the display name, this is the department number, this would be a return value. So for the return value, I mean to use a key to use, I mean for a column to be used as a return value, it must be unique, right? Otherwise there would be conflict. Suppose number 10 is assigned to both accounting and operation. When you pass number 10, it will get confused like if it is accounting and operation. So return value must be unique. Display value it will derive based on the what the return value is being used. So I will create a uh, to create a select list. I will define a LOV. So that LOV is will be using this kind of query. Only two columns. First column would be the display name, display value. Second column would be the return value. Either you can use it like this, or you can simply put D and here R. This also is fine. So it will have only two columns. One is the first is the uh, display and second is the return value. So I should be using this value in the select list. So this is the
So
department. Yeah, go
Prashant,
ahead.
what if we have more than two columns in the select clause?
So you will ignore that. I mean, select list will is supposed to have only two columns: display value and return value. So here we have location also. So I mean, I'm not using that into my query. I'm just concerned about the department number and the corresponding department name. Understood. Location, if suppose if you want to filter the data based on the department location, then in that case, instead of department name, you will select location as the display value here, but the return value will be same. Got it? So I will use this query.
Hello.
Yeah, Anil, what?
Yeah. If I want to pass a dynamic variable, how we can pass in the LOV? Like
Dynamic.
assume, I want
Hmm.
to, I logged in as a user.
Hmm.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me, I'm listening.
I logged in as a user, and my department is finance department.
Okay.
And finance department expenses I want to check. The report name is expenses. I should get only finance department LOV. I should not get any other department in LOV.
Okay, those things we can do. I mean, when the query is there, so there is one attribute which is
Parameter we
called
can pass.
app user. Okay, app user we can
Okay,
use.
okay.
So this is basically the username. Okay, so we can use this into this query, and then we can proceed. So I will just copy this query and try to convert this text field as drop
Okay,
down. So this is department right now.
okay,
You can
okay.
see this is text field. So I will change it as select list. So the moment you change it to select list, it will become red. It says like the definition is not complete. So when you go down, it will ask for the list of value. So what all options do we have here? Either it can be a shared component, it can be from SQL query, or it can be a static value. So these are four. It can get the values coming from all these four sources. So let me use the SQL query for the moment, and then we'll see how it can be changed later on. So I will put this thing here like this, and I have to validate. So it will get validated, and then okay. And then you have display extra value and null value. So the display extra value, you don't do this, and null value, yes. So null value means there would be one additional value into that other than the value coming from the SQL query, which will be null. An extra value means suppose there is a value which is not there in this list. So it will still show that value. So I will save it. That's it. Only this much is required to define a select list. So when I refresh this page, you will notice this department has been changed to this. So this is the display value, and in the if you do simply if you do inspect element, so you will see based and department is like this. So display value is accounting, but the actual value is 10 like this. Did you notice that? So like this that LOV can be formed. So what I will do, I will create a LOV in the shared component. As I told you, as I had told you, like yes,
How did you do that inspect element? I didn't get that one.
F12, F12.
Can you show it one, so one more?
And I mean, simply you can go there, do right click and inspect. This also you can do. Otherwise, if you do F12, press F12 on your keyboard, and then the same thing will come, and then you have to select the particular element. I'm using Chrome for your information. Google Chrome.
Okay, okay, got it.
Okay. So so this is how we can create uh, this select list uh, in a page. But you would have noticed like when I created this LOV, I cannot use that LOV in any other page. If I have to create this department drop down in page some other page, I will have to write this query again to create a select list. So what I will do, as I know like this kind of select list will be more frequent, I will go and I will go to the shared component and create a shared component LOV, and that I will try to use in all the pages. So list of values. So let me create a list of value here. So from scratch, so it will ask for DE name, DEPT LOV. So static and dynamic, there are two options. So a static LOV is a LOV which is not derived from a table. You will hard code it. Like if I may select static and go forward, so it will ask for me the display value and the return value for me from here. So if I put it like this, so yes no LOV I can define, or male female LOV I can define, because these things are not derived from a table, right? Need not necessarily be. So I will go back. I will create a dynamic LOV because the department is coming from a table. So a static LOV is suppose like in future there won't be any addition of data. Suppose yes no will not have any third option. Male female, we are not. I mean there won't be any addition to that gender category. In that case, a static will do. But in department, suppose if tomorrow one department is added into this department table, and we go for the static one, reflected. So every time it should get the recent data from the department table. In that case, we'll use the dynamic. You got the difference between dynamic and a static, right? So once you click on the dynamic, it will give you a sample query, and which will give you this uh, the same format, and I will replace it with my own and validate. Does it let me validate? No, there's no need to validate. It will create. So this one is created. So I will go and edit this page again, and now instead of that SQL query that we used initially, I will use the shared component thing. So that LOV has automatically come. So when I save it, so now the data is coming from the LOV, shared component LOV. When I refresh, it will show me data coming from that LOV. Okay. And what do we have? This we have decided job. What do we have in job table? Let me see. Select all from employee. Okay. Can we create a LOV for that also? Job, yeah. So job we have president, manager. Let me put a distinct job. Okay. So these four types of jobs we have. Okay. So let us create a static LOV for this kind of thing. So considering like there won't be any addition of jobs into that. So as you can see in the report in the employee table, the return value and display value will be same for jobs, because the same thing is being shown and same thing is being saved also, but that is not the case with the department. It is 10, but 10 refers to something else. If you display 10 to the end user, he won't understand anything. You need to translate it to the corresponding department display value and then show it to them. So I will go back and create one in the shared component. I will create a new LOV which is for the jobs. So department LOV from scratch, job underscore LOV static. This time I am selecting a static so that I can show you that example. So clerk. So here I am giving both as same. Both are same.
So is there any limit to show these static values?
I think 15 values it is showing, but if you click on something here and then go, I don't know. I mean, static, I think there is a limitation, but dynamic, it can be anything. But select list are supposed to be smaller list, right? If you have suppose the hundreds of values, then in that case, some other type of items are there which you will be more user friendly. In select list, if you have 150 items, how will you will get confused at times, right? So I'll create a list of value here, and I will go back to this page, and this is job, right? So I will change it to select list. This is job, and I will take it from the shared component again, and then the job LOB. Display extra value, let me select this as no, and null value yes. So when I refresh it, you will see job will also change to select list. This one is select list. Other things are fine. So now what is the next step? Give me a second. Let me plug in my charger. Yeah. So now we have created the filters. So now I will create, the next step is to create a report in which these filters will be used. So let me go back to the edit mode, and in the same content body I will create a region, employee detail. Okay, and let me do again this, what all things I need to see. So employee, it is taking time. Employee name, job manager, salary, commission. So let me select these three. No, let me select all of them. Now I'm selecting the column name individually. Okay, so I have created the region. I will change it to classic report only, because the interactive report I will have to explain few more things, which I will begin in a separate session. So select this from EMP. Let me put commas. So it is not referring to any filters at the moment. It will show everything that you have. Okay. So let me rename the columns. So I will employee number should be left, employee name, everything should be left aligned. Manager, hire date, salary, commission, and this is department number. So I will put this. So now you can see how it is being changed, how it changes. So this is how it will look like. So right now none of these filters are being used into this. So what we can so now let's do a couple of modifications into this report. So this employee number, it is good, it can be shown like this. Employee name is fine, job is also fine. Manager, so manager, if I put in this manager employee ID, people will not understand what's the manager name, what is the manager detail. So I will create a LOV for manage employee name and employee ID, and use that LOV to change this IDs into name. So let us see how we can do it. I will go to the shared component, create LOV. So I will create as from scratch EMP underscore LOV. I'll select as dynamic. If you can recall, like the employee table is parent child table itself, like manager is the employee himself. So I will use this query. I mean, this is given as an example. I can use this query, and it will be done. I will create list of value. So this is done. So I will go back to page 10. So what was my requirement? My requirement was to change this IDs, manager IDs, into manager names. So I have created a LOV on the employee table with employee name as the display value and employee ID as the uh, return value. So I will go to the corresponding column here, corresponding column of the report, and from plain text I will select as plain text based on list of values, and I will select as shared component, and then I will select employee LOV and then save it. So the moment I do it and refresh this page, you will see all those manager IDs are being are being changed to this manager names. So now see, so manager ID have changed to manager name. So this there would be a employee 4 into this list. So this is the person who is the manager for Smith. So Blake is the manager for Alan. So Blake is, where is Blake? So Blake is here. So Blake is the manager from these two guys. So like this we can change. Okay. So then we have the department. So similarly, we can change the department also. I'll go to the department and do the same thing. So since we have already created the department LOV, I can make use of that. So that is advantage of creating the LOVs in shared component, that you can use it anywhere in the application once it is created. So this department is also being changed to department name. So I will have to change the heading as well. Earlier it was department number, now it is department name. So once it is saved, you can see it like this. Okay. So now what was my requirement? I wanted to use these filters into this report. Suppose I want to put something here and there would be a button, and click on that button, the corresponding data should come up. So let's do that. So I want to use that filter. So this is the first filter. So let me copy the filter names one by one, and then we'll modify it. So I will go and use these filters in this. I just copied it, shortcut. So, and I will put a where clause, and I will have to put a colon before all of these values, so that, I mean, that is the way. Generally what we do, if that particular value is null, we'll skip that. So that is how we form our where clause like this. So if you can try to understand what it is doing. See, if this value is null, basically if I have not given any value here, so it will be null. So in that case, it is, if in case if it is null, it will not execute the where condition. Otherwise, it will do that. So similarly, I will do it for others. This is employee name. This is job and manager. Hire date. Hire date, do I need? No. We don't have hire date, right? Department number we have in the filter. So I will do this. I will remove this extra and I will validate it. So it is valid. I will do OK. So now the thing is, all the filters are blank. So ideally, this report should show everything, because none of the where condition is being checked. The moment I put, there would be a button also, right? The button is required, right? So I'll create a button and I'll put search and then submit page. It will be below region, horizontal alignment left, and that's it. There is no validation required, right? So I'll just simply do this. And now I have a search button over here. So if I do search, all the fields are blank, and it is showing you everything. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to see the data from accounting department. So I will go to the department LOE and select accounting and then do search again. So ideally it should show me data coming from the accounting department, all the data, all the records from accounting. Now what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to see the managers from this. So I will select as manager. So now we have got two filters. Two filters. Uh, it is why it is showing poor network. Okay, leave it. So two filters I have selected. I will do search. So it will filter out all the managers from accounting department. And suppose if you want to put extra filter, you can do that. Employee number, this one you want to see, you can put that and do search. It will just show you one employee. So like this, you can change your this filter condition. So suppose we want to clear out everything. So I will create a button, uh, reset. So what reset does, so it will reset everything, and I will create a process which will reset the values, or basically the filters. So I have created a process. If you are not understanding anything, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave. I mean, these things we will cover later. So I will just clear the session state and save it. It is saved, and when I refresh it, see this should be left, right? So let me change the orientation of it. Though that doesn't matter, but I'm just making sure everything is in place. So there is a reset button. Okay, so even when you reload the page, these values are there. So when you just click on the reset, it will clear out everything, and your report will be showing all the data. Let me put search button on above. Okay, so this is how you can modify the yeah, modify the classic report. So yesterday we discussed like mm, how we can modify this thing, how we can incorporate HTML and highlight few records in that. So let me search if I have. There is a tag, HTML tag, a span tag. Okay, so you can use that. So in case if you want to, there would be a little bit more of it. This one is also fine. This one I can use. I mean, anyway, this is uh, this thing. Let me use this. Okay, so now I'll go to the report, and now the requirement is uh, so the employees, all the employees for which so the employees in green color for which the salary is more than suppose 2500. Okay, so I will go back, and employee name is there, right? So I will write a case statement. Case when salary is more than 2500, then else and as ename. So what I will do, I will put it as in green color, and this thing is this much, and let me put a single quote here, and salary is less than greater than 2 within this. Otherwise, so if you validate it, it will get validated. Oh, it is taking more time. Maybe there's a wait. Shall I kill this or what? I'm audible, right? I have not lost the connectivity.
No, you're
Okay,
audible now.
okay. Okay, I guess the website itself is slow. So let me close everything. The website is itself has become slow, I guess. So guys, I am giving you one um assignment for today. So these are the same thing for, I mean, see, the tables and the data into that, it's up to you. I mean, if you want to do hands-on, I mean, you need not have the table and its content. I mean, you can use any table, right? Uh, so the smaller the table, the more easily the application will be built. So I will be giving you an assignment, the same things that we have covered today. And what you can do, you can use your own tables with your own data set and then practice the things that we have covered. So I will just put it here in the chat window. So these are the couple of hands-on things that you can do. So this is the last item that I'm trying to explain it here. So it will it has become slow, I don't know. Let me refresh it. Other examples I have showed it to you, and reset the filters, use our filters in the class report, that's fine. So it's up to you. I mean, once you do the same things on your own, no, you will have more confidence. like you can do it. Let me see if other websites are coming. Yeah, I guess Oracle website is down. So content, let me see the content, what all things we have covered. Classic report, yeah. So from tomorrow, we'll start with the report. So we'll start with the different types of report that we can create using Oracle Apex and how they are different from each other. And what is the, I mean, in what particular scenario we should be using a one and not using, should be using another type. So we'll see that. So it is not helping guys. I don't know. What's the
Hello.
time now? Yeah, yeah, Tanil, tell me.
Yeah, I have already created workspace in Apex
Yeah.
site, and what you said is the reports and filters.
Reports and filters. Yeah, we today we created a blank page first. Let me summarize what all things we did. We created a blank page and placed that into that application and created a menu item for that so that we can launch that page. After that, we
Yes.
created a filter region, and in that filter region, we created few filters to filter the
Yes.
data which will be coming from the employee table. So this is a very
Yes.
plain and simple example in which we have only one table and data is coming from that. And then we
Yes.
change the filters wherever we felt like this should be a select list and this should be a text free form text or some we could have a date field also. So depending upon the data and the data types, you can select
Yeah.
that filter type. Okay. So that is one thing. Apart from that, after we created the filters, we changed that into select list, and then we created two buttons: submit and reset. So these two
Yes.
buttons will submit the page and search and reset. Search will filter the data into the report, and reset will reset all the values. Then we created a
Yeah.
classic report and used all these filters into the report query. And then we saw how the data is being filtered once we press the search icon. Okay, so these all things we
Yes.
saw. And lastly, I was trying to show you how we can change the color of a particular item, and which is where we got stuck. So we will
It's a
keep.
HTML we have to do, no?
Yes, HTML. So that last example I was not able to show you. So we'll
Oh,
keep this example for tomorrow's class, and we will
okay.
start with different types of report from tomorrow. Hmm?
That's fine, Prashant.
Yeah.
So
That's fine.
Okay. No
better
problem.
better we have a second more options also available for us. That is on-premise Apex.
Yes.
So that in future, let's suppose if these sites may get down, so we can have another option open for us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can be able to show you my own project website. I mean, my own project. So, but I cannot do much of the things there. I mean, only in case of emergency I can show you there. Otherwise, those
Mhm.
things are visible, right? Who are
Right,
you?
right, right. No, no, no,
So
because Oracle itself is saying that on 6th or sorry on 8th of March there is some
yeah, yeah,
down,
yeah. Downtime for
right?
one day. Okay, in that case, for one day I will manage. I mean, I will show it to you in my local machine only.
Okay,
So.
okay,
So
okay.
for the time being,
Okay. No.
let's wrap up today's session. We are wasting our time. This is not helping. So from tomorrow,
Okay.
you do the hands-on. And if you have any doubt, we'll cover that also in tomorrow's class. Huh?
Yep, yep, sure.
Okay then.
Okay.
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 Bye, 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 guys.
Okay
Okay,
then. Bye.
okay, bye.
Bye.